You canceled again. Not because you do not like them, not because something went wrong. You canceled because Friday came and the thought of sitting in a room full of people, even people you care about, felt like running on no sleep. So you said you were not feeling well. And the moment you sent that message, something in you finally exhaled. Then came the guilt. If that feels familiar, stay with me. Because what is happening inside you is not what most people think it is. There is a word people attach to this kind of behavior very quickly: antisocial. You may have even used it yourself. I am just antisocial, said with a small laugh, like it explains everything. But it does not. Antisocial means you do not care about people, that their presence means nothing to you. That is not you. You think about people constantly. You notice when someone is off before they say a word. You remember details they forgot. You feel the room the second you walk in. That is not antisocial. That is exhausting. There is a concept in psychology called a social battery. Unlike physical energy, social energy does not refill the same way. And for some people, that battery is much smaller. This is not just a metaphor. Research on highly sensitive people shows that a significant part of the population processes social and sensory input more deeply than average. Every conversation, every facial expression, every shift in atmosphere takes more out of them. You are not being dramatic. Your brain is doing more work. And when something works harder, it burns out faster. That is not weakness. That is how the system works. For some people, this is not only something they were born with. It is something they learned. Maybe growing up meant reading the room before you could read a book. Maybe you had to watch faces, track moods, stay alert, and adjust yourself before anyone even asked. If that was your experience, your nervous system did not learn that people were safe. It learned that people were work. So now, even good social situations can trigger the same response. Your body does not separate old stress from new contact. It just knows that people cost energy, so it protects what it has left. That is why even people you love can feel like too much. You are not cold. You are not broken. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it learned to do. Here is what it looks like in real life. You need real recovery time after social events. You have a few people you can be around without feeling drained, but most interactions leave you depleted. You rehearse conversations before they happen and replay them after. You say yes too early, then regret it when the day comes. And then you feel guilty, because from the outside it looks like you do not want to be there. But the truth is simpler. You are a high-processing person in a world built for lower-processing ones. This is not loneliness. Loneliness is wanting connection and not having it. What you feel is exhaustion from giving too much of yourself for too long. The silence you go home to is not emptiness. It is recovery. So what do you do with that? You stop trying to fix what is not broken. You stop apologizing for needing recovery the way other people need sleep. You stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand why too many plans feels like overtime. And you start being selective on purpose. Not everyone deserves full access to you. That is not coldness, that is boundaries. The people who make you feel safe, unforced, and more like yourself are the people worth keeping close. Everyone else gets what you have left. And sometimes what you have left is a text saying you are not feeling well. And that is allowed. Because the truth is, you do not hate people. You just love certain people deeply. Your presence is not unlimited. Your energy is not endless. And your nervous system is doing more work than most people realize. The exhaustion is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is the cost of feeling this deeply. That is not a flaw. That is just how you are wired. If this describes something you have never had words for, share it with someone who might understand themselves a little better because of it.